Hey everybody, it's me, Bob Harris, Senior Editor of FootballDiehards.com. Time for your Week 5 injury preview, review, update, and overview. The thing we like to do every Saturday to get you up to speed on all the things you need to know before you set your lineups on Sunday. Remember, these things will change. I'm recording this video at about 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, so if you're showing up after that, check the late-breaking news section of the site or check the staff rankings. That's kind of a one-stop shop. You can roll down. There'll be links to the latest information and a little comment on the status of the players involved to help you make your final decisions. I know not everyone's following along the minute by minute all week long, even though we're reporting on it. So this is a nice way to catch up and get you up to speed there. So that's what we'll do. We'll get started now. Remember, I guess last week people were upset because there was a London game with an early kickoff. There's another one this week. Most of the decisions have already been made. Tyrod Taylor's out. Wan'Dale Robinson's out. Kadarius Toney's out. Kenny Golladay out for the Giants. They will be taking on the Packers in Tottenham, I believe they call that place. And for the Packers, everyone looks like they're good to go. Alan Lazard came off the injury report late in the week. On Toney, interesting note, it's his other hamstring this week. So he's been dealing with a hamstring injury all along. This week he hurt the other hamstring. He didn't even make the trip. Golladay didn't make the trip. So the starting wide receivers, the top three wide receivers for the Giants are going to be Richie James, David Sills, and Darius Slayton. So watch for that. Expect a lot of Saquon Barkley. Going into the early afternoon window of Sunday, the more traditional kickoffs, we'll start out with the Detroit Lions taking on the Patriots in New England. For the Patriots, Mac Jones is out. Bailey Zappi will make a start. We saw him play against the Packers last week. Brian Hoyer placed on injured reserve with a concussion, so he'll be out at least 4 weeks. Jones not ready to return from his high ankle sprain, reportedly high ankle sprain. Jonnu Smith listed as doubtful. Jacoby Myers listed as questionable in this game. He's missed the last two. Should be ready to go. It's a great matchup, right, for everybody involved here. On the New England side, if they can take advantage of it, especially the running backs. Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson seem to be in good positions, especially given the quarterback situation. On the other side of the ball, DeAndre Swift has been ruled out. DJ Chark has been ruled out. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Josh Reynolds are both listed as questionable. By the way, Austin Siebert will not kick in this game. He was released, and I believe they added, I want to say Michael Badgley to handle the kicking. So there you go. A lot of kicker stuff going on this week, people. So check the rankings, and you'll get all the latest information on that there as well. So we'll see about Amon-Ra St. Brown. He got to practice field Friday. Not sure if he's going to go or not. Remember, the Lions have a bye next week, so if they sit guys out this week like they're sitting Swift out, Swift will have had, a good 3 weeks or 4 weeks by the time the next game is played to fully recover. Maybe they do the same with St. Brown. We'll find out. For the Atlanta Falcons at Tampa Bay, Kyle Pitts has been ruled out with a hamstring injury. He developed some soreness early in the week. It didn't go away, so they're going to sit him for a game. Cordero Patterson on the injured reserve list. He will not play for the next 4 weeks. Tyler Algier and Caleb Huntley are the top backs in this offense, so that'll be one to watch. On the other side of the ball, Julio Jones and Russell Gage have been listed as questionable. Gage was originally without designation. They added him Saturday morning. He's been playing through his issue. Seems like Julio's close to returning. Chris Godwin, not on the injury report. Tom Brady, not on the injury report. Shoulder and finger issues. He's practiced fully the last 2 days. So all good there. Cameron Brate's been ruled out with a concussion in that game. The Miami Dolphins are at the New York Jets. We're going to see Tua Tagovailoa miss this game. Teddy Bridgewater will start. The bigger concern here, both starting wide receivers, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are questionable. Waddle is questionable with the same groin injury he played through last week. He was also questionable going into that game against the Bengals. Hill, it's a new injury. He was hurt on Thursday. It's a quad injury. He did make it back on the practice field Friday. I find that encouraging, but this is one you're going to have to watch. The inactive announcements. Hit the website. I have stuff overnight, and many of you have noticed have some like insider infos, all the various people out there reporting on the likelihood of players playing. I'll have all that. So watch this. My guess is they're both heading in a good direction. For the Jets, everyone's off the injury report and good to go. That means Breece Hall already. He was limited early in the week. Zach Wilson limited Wednesday. Everyone's good to go. Chicago Bears at the Minnesota Vikings. David Montgomery listed as questionable. Got back on the practice field late in the week. Things, a lot of positive talk about this. Khalil Herbert will be standing by. You'll want to watch that one. Kind of looks like this might be a split going forward, but last time we saw Montgomery, he got the full workload, so we'll see if he can get on the field in this week. I wouldn't be forcing him into lineups. The Buffalo Bills taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Isaiah McKenzie listed as questionable with a concussion. He did get on the practice field. Last I heard, he had not received final clearance, but I'm guessing that he's heading in that direction since he is questionable. There is no Jamison Crowder. He's done for the year with a broken ankle. Dawson Knox has been ruled out for this game with foot and hamstring injuries. On the other side of the ball, the big news there is Kenny Pickett takes over as the starting quarterback for Mitchell Trubisky. So we all knew that was coming. We'll see how this offense changes. They say the play calling won't change, but maybe his willingness to throw the ball downfield, something we saw last week when he took over for Trubisky, might come into play. Maybe George Pickens gets a little run. We saw him targeted to 30% of Kenny Pickett's passes. So some interesting things there to watch for. Don't know if you need to act on them this week, but watch for them. The New Orleans Saints taking on the Seattle Seahawks at home. Jameis Winston is listed as doubtful. He will not play. Andy Dalton will start. Jarvis Landry or Michael Thomas has been ruled out, so no Winston, no Thomas. Alvin Kamara and Jarvis Landry both listed as questionable. Kamara has been saying all week he intends to play. It's a pretty good matchup. Hopefully he does. On the other side of the ball, Kenneth Walker III listed as questionable with a shoulder injury. It's interesting because Rashad Penny didn't practice Wednesday with a shoulder injury. He practiced fully the next 2 days. He was taken off the injury report, so all good for Penny in a tough matchup, and Walker beat up. The Los Angeles Chargers are at Cleveland. Keenan Allen's been ruled out again. Josh Palmer's listed as questionable with his ankle injury. Dustin Hopkins, the kicker there, is also questionable, so you might want to just pivot away from that if possible, or check the rankings and see who will be replacing him. Bertolette is the name of the player. I'm not excited. I don't know a lot about him, so that's something to watch. And beyond that, everyone's good to go on the Cleveland side of the ball. Myles Garrett will be back this week, so congratulations to him. It's a very short absence. No skill players on the injury report as well. David Njoku missed a little time early this week. He's fine, just resting him. The Washington Commanders are at home against the Tennessee Titans. For Washington, Jahan Dotson has been ruled out. Logan Thomas was added to the injury report as questionable with calf injury on Friday. We'll see how that one plays out. Also very exciting, Brian Robinson Jr., the rookie running back who was shot 6 weeks ago, has been added back to the active roster. He will be available for this one. I have an article on the site if you want to check that out from Saturday morning that explains kind of the circumstances, some comments by Scott Turner, Ron Rivera, and Brian Robinson. I don't know how big of a workload I would expect this week. It's his first week back. Turner's comments were maybe kind of informative on that. He's not going to get 30 carries. It's his first NFL game. He's just back. So it seems like they might slow roll him a little bit, but it's something to watch. On the other side of the ball, Treylon Burks has been ruled out with a toe injury that may cost him a little time, right? They're not saying really what the timetable is, but the reporting suggests it might be multiple weeks. So that'll be something to watch for as well. Robert Woods maybe is a little better play. For the Jacksonville Jaguars hosting the Houston Texans, Zay Jones listed as questionable in this game. Expectation is he'll play. Doug Peterson said he's fine. So we'll see. I hope he does play because that lets Christian Kirk move back and more in the slot where he's super effective. I mean, it was a bad week for the Jaguars offense in Philadelphia last week. Hoping for better things against Houston. I think we'll get it for the Texans. Brevin Jordan ruled out with the ankle injury. This is his third straight game he's missed. O.J. Howard and Jordan Akins will be the next man up. Pharaoh Brown, the other tight end of that mix, was released early this week and signed with the Cleveland Browns. Chris Moore, the wide receiver, is also ruled out of that one. So that's all the early afternoon window games. Moving into the late afternoon window, the Cowboys are at Los Angeles to take on the Rams. Dak Prescott won't play. Seems like they're looking for a next week return. Cooper Rush will continue to start. Tony Pollard added to the injury report Friday due to illness. He is questionable. CeeDee Lamb listed as questionable. Lamb said he's going to play. They limited him Thursday. He said it was because his GPS numbers were high from Wednesday. Then they limited him again Friday, so it seems like this is a groin issue, but seems like he's trending towards playing. That's one we'll have to watch. Remember, these are late afternoon windows, so you need to have some people to pivot to if you want to take a chance on Lamb, which is not unreasonable. On the other side of the ball, the Rams, everybody's good to go. They're just not playing extremely well. Well, Cooper Kupp's playing extremely well. Tyler Higbee's playing extremely well. The rest of them, not so much. I'm looking at you, Matt Stafford. The Philadelphia Eagles at Arizona. Boston Scott listed as questionable. Another case where a kicker has been ruled out. So Cam Dickers is the man who will replace Jake Elliott. So there you go if you're into that. On the other side of the ball, another kicker issue. Matt Prater's ruled out. Matt Amendola will replace him, guy who didn't fare well in Kansas City, but now is on the Cardinals. So watch for that. Rondale Moore listed as questionable. Everyone else off the injury report. Marquise Brown came off the injury report, had the foot issue. kind of been working through that the last couple weeks. Got in the practice field Friday, no issues. AJ Green's off the injury report as well, so he'll be back too. Andy Isabella had been released, so Greg Dortch in that mix. Antoine Wesley was scheduled to come off IR, at least designated to return. Sounds like he tore a quad in practice this week, so his return will not be coming. DeAndre Hopkins eligible to return after week 6, I believe. So some hope going forward there. San Francisco 49ers at Carolina. No big deals here. Tyrion Davis-Price ruled out. No surprise. He's got the high ankle sprain. Will miss an extended period. Missed last week as well. Tyler Kroft, a reserve tight end, also out of the mix there. On the other side of the ball, Laviska Shenault has been ruled out with a hamstring injury. So there we go there. Sunday Night Football. The Ravens and the Bengals in Baltimore. Looking for a shootout. I know we all love the high-scoring games. T. Higgins listed as questionable. Hayden Hurst listed as questionable. Ankle and groin injuries. They played through these issues last week against Miami. The expectation is they will again this week, but it's Sunday night kickoff. Might be difficult to have some pivots away. Watch for reporting leading up to game time. We'll certainly have something overnight for you, I'm hoping. On the other side of the ball, Justice Hill and Rashad Bateman have been ruled out of this game. So Devin Duvernay becomes the wide receiver 1, or look, Mark Andrews is the top receiving asset there, but he is a tight end. So the wide receiver 1 role goes to Devin Duvernay, and others will move up in the rotation, whether it's Demarcus Robinson, Tylan Wallace, James Prochet. Hard to rely on any of them. Monday Night Football, Harrison Butker, another one of the kickers dealing with issues, doesn't seem to be progressing too well. Matthew Wright will take over if he can't. On the other side of the ball, Hunter Renfrow has been practicing fully this week. Seems like he'll return from his concussion. A little concerned early Thursday. Darren Waller was limited by a shoulder injury. He worked fully Friday, so there we have it. There's your Week 5 injury overview. Again, hit the website. Check the late breaking update section through Sunday's kickoff windows. We'll have all the inactive announcements for you as well. Check the FSP staff rankings for your one-stop shop, an entire list, comments, and links to all the more pertinent, most recent information on any given player. If your player's down at the bottom of the list, there's probably a reason for it, people. So check that out. And good luck this week. We'll see you next week.